紹介お願いしたいですか。
And then you say it in English.
僕はカプコンのゲームのプロデューサーをしてます小林です。バイオハザード20年ぐらいシリーズゲーム関わって、実写映画も、CG 映画も全て関わってます。はい。
So this is Mr. Kobayashi. He's the producer at Capcom video game studio, and he's been with the Resident Evil franchise for the last 20 years, even including the live-action film version and of course CG movie version.
はい、監督の辻本隆則です。普段は実写の映画監督をやってます。得意とするというか、自分がよく撮るジャンルの映画としてアクション映画をよく撮ってきました。多分そういう部分で抜擢されたんだと思います。よろしくお願いします。
So he's a Mr. Tsuji, director Tsujimoto, Takanori Tsujimoto. He is a director of the movie. The primary work is a live-action direction, and he's very good at the action parts. So that's how he feels that he was offered for this film.
普段はライブアクションの映画監督をしている清水隆と言います。今回は監督は辻本さんなので、エグゼクティブプロデューサーという立場で参加させてもらいました。主なところでは恐怖描写に関してアドバイスさせていただいたりしています。
So he's a Takashi Shimizu. His also primary work is a live-action feature film direction. But for this feature film, he's actually an executive producer. What he's very good at and what he did for this film is to give out a little bit of advice on the horror aspects.
Grudge.
Yeah.
Japanese. Japanese talent.
違う、うるさい。
はい、順番に行きましょう。
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
So when you guys were going into Vendetta, was there any kind of hard to kind of get the continuity from the games and also from the previous CG movies when y'all were doing this?
今回の作品を制作するにあたってゲームとあと CG 映画の前作2本ですね、そのつながりっていうのをいろいろ考えながら、その点でちょっと難しかった点とかあればぜひ教えてください。
これは小林さんがいいかな。
Mr. Carver, you should answer that question.
今回ベンデッタはゲームでいうバイオハザード6、レジデント6の後の話になってます。でそこでレオンとクリスが活躍するというところと、ゲームでは久々に登場のレベッカというところで、物語を構築しています。
So that this Vendetta is actually takes place right after the Resident Evil game 6. And of course the main feature is Leon and Chris, and as well as Rebecca comes back.
Okay, so mine was it's similar vein. How do you balance live action, video game, the animation to tell something that keeps the thread and the connection, but yet is fresh and different without running the risk of repeating yourself?
ですね、今回の作品に、制作にあたって実写バージョンとゲームと、アニメーション、ここら辺のつながりをうまく利用して、どのような感じでうまくまとめ上げたのでしょうかと。
これは今回、CG アニメーション第3弾なんですけど、制作会社が変わったんですよね。で、心機一転といいますか、新たな気持ちでやろうというところが強かったので、監督も変わったし、でCG 映画のファンだけじゃなく、ゲームファンはもちろんのこと、実写のミラ・ジョボビッチ主演の映画のファンもみんな楽しめるように作りたいなっていうところで、それぞれのいいところをチョイスして作品に織り込んでわざとやっていきましたという感じです。
So what he really cared about, what the director Tsujimoto really cared about when it came to creating this version, this is as you guys all know, that the third CG movie version of it. And since the last one, the actually production company changed, and also the director has changed as well. So he wanted to satisfy all the fans, CG movie version, of course live action film version, and he wanted to have all the fans happy by having him kind of refreshing the movie itself.
Wonderful, thank you.
Can I follow up on that one?
これに関連してちょっと
Yeah, that'd be great. Because Robert Zemeckis has done, stop motion, not stop motion, has done animation for a long time and has sort of like put it on a back burner because he felt for feature film it was not quite up to standard. Do you feel since then the technology has changed enough? Do you feel it's there now? Are you happy with the result?
で今の話を聞いてもそういったアニメーションだったりそういったことをやっていたのをちょっと思い出しまして、今回の作品でそのテクノロジーがすごく進んでいると思うんですけれども、そういったテクノロジーの進化とても感じた部分があったんでしょうか。
それはありました。最初にこれぐらいのことができるよみたいな、指示で今だとこれぐらいの、動きとか表情を出せるよっていう、サンプルムービーみたいなのを制作会社の人に見せてもらってここまでできるんだっていう驚きがまずあって、ここまでできるならその実際の俳優を使ってモーションキャプチャーを撮るんですけどなんかアニメーションだからとか変に遠慮することないなって普段通りやってそれを、CG に落とし込むことが多分できるだろうと思いながらやりました。
So he was actually surprised with the current technology in the CG movie. So the production company showed him first the CG sample what he can do in CG, and it was a great surprise for him because he thought he could just using mocap he could just shoot it just like live action too. So like as usual he was able to shoot the film with mocap.
In motion capture. Yeah.
順番に行かないと。
Any other questions for other? Press the negative.
Could you talk a little bit about the opening scene? And it's very dramatic, and your work and build up to that first boss being so powerful.
でちょっとオープニングシーンに関してお話を伺わせてください。このオープニングシーンだいぶすごくドラマチックに描かれているんですけれども、ここでちょっとどういうことを思われてこのようなオープニングをしたのかという
オープニングでどこまでのオープニングだ
タイトルより前
じゃあちょっとそこ聞きますね。So when you say opening scene, it'll be until you see the title scene, like right before the
過去とかじゃないですか。
credit before the
so
screen. Is that the opening scene you're talking about?
Yeah.
Up to the
なるほどこんだけです
Finish up here. And it reads,
タイトルまで
original work scene. Yeah. First, yeah.
I think there's an opening scene before like Chris starts yelling
Right,
like,
starts
"Oh,
right.
yeah,
That's
that
okay.
one."
That's all right. Oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
that's
Cool,
just-
cool.
Okay.
Just wanna make sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just before, yeah.
タイトルシーンが出るまで
まだ
クリス
クリスが叫ぶところ
そうそこですそこです
まずゲームでオリジナルのゲームの方で洋館が印象的に出てきてるのもゲームファンの人は覚えてると思うんですよね。でそれをこう彷彿とさせるちょっと原点回帰というテーマがあったのでそこを使って最近アクションにこう走りがちだったところをホラー描写怖い描写を気配を感じさせたりとかっていうのを含めてゲームファンはこれってもしかしてゲームの最初の頃にあった洋館が出てくるっていうこう嬉しさもあるしでそれを知らない人でも何が起こるんだろうっていうドキドキワクワクで始められるっていうのが大きかったと思います。でそこでいきなりもう普通は後の方に出てくるはずの敵が最初に分かりやすく出てきて彼にも背負ってるものがあるらしいっていうのが分かったところで多分そこから始まるからドラマチックに 感じていただけたらと思います。
So first of all, if you guys remember the first game of Resident Evil, that takes place in Mansion 2. So this opening scene was kind of homage to that. That way, the video game fans would really appreciate it. That's homage to the very first Resident Evil game that takes place in Mansion. And also, that you guys know that our film has a lot of action, and it's very action-packed. But Mr. Shimizu wanted to also, kind of emphasize the dramatic part as well, and horror aspects definitely as well. So the fans will definitely appreciate the homage part of it. But even if you don't know the franchise, you will still kind of feel the nail biting because it's a horror aspect and a dramatic aspect, and also. In a very opening scene, you will see the actual enemy right there, instead of you see the enemy, towards the end. So you feel that this enemy character has some sort of a mysterious background, and you really want to find out what he has, what he really is. So that's what you need to focus on.
So I guess my question would be about a future movie. Is it possible that we could see a story involving characters that haven't been in the film, such as Jill or Billy Cohen or even Wesker?
続編に関してですね、もし続編を作るのであれば、今回出てきていないキャラクター、ジルですとか、ビビー・ウェスとか、こういったキャラクターが出るんでしょうか。
もうね、その辺もね、小林さんしかわからない。
So Mr. Kobayashi will answer that question.
僕らも急にそう適された。
そうですね。で、僕らがビリー使いたいって言ってももうダメだとかって言われるので。
カプコン
So
さんしか。
even if you like the director Tsujimoto or the Shimizu would say, oh, we want to use Billy next time. Of course, it's up to Mr. Kobayashi from Capcom.
ゴースト・イン・ザ・セルの押井守監督が撮るならジルが出てくるんじゃないですか。
それ言うんですか。
あ、そうです。
If director of Ghost in the Shell would direct the next version, then definitely
それ
he
ど
would
こまで日
appreciate
本の
the
記事が飛んでる
Jill.
か。
押井さん
それはそこじゃ
押井守さんが最近バイオハザードのゲームにハマって。それで、僕師匠みたいなもんなんで、お前がバイオをやれるなら俺も撮りたいって言い出して、で俺は男の主人公には興味がない。
女が興味あるから、
女性ヒロインでジルで主人公でやりたいって最近言ってる。
So, Mr. Kobayashi said the director Oshimoto just because he recently started playing the Resident Evil game, and he really likes it. And then the director Tsujimoto really respected director Oshi. He, in a way, he's like what do you call? Not an apprentice to the director Tsujimoto, but they have a kind of
Assistant director.
Yeah, kind of that sort of a relationship between them. And Mr. Oshii was saying that he's not interested in any male characters as a leading characters.
ミスターは C っていうのはゴースト・イン・ザ・シェルの監督だっていうのを言っといた方がいいんじゃないですか。
そう
アニメのね
もしかしたら知らない。
さっき僕が多分言った時に言ってくれたと思う。
一応はい
言ってました。
言っときますね。So just to clarify, the Mr. Mamoru Oshii is a director of the Ghost in the Shell. So just want to make sure you guys are aware. So yeah, Mr. Oshii said that he's not interested in any male characters, and he would definitely use a Jill, and that's why.
So he's not.
If he used Jill, then Jill would have,
めっちゃ聞いてる。そう。
ジルの5。
ジルが
ゲームの5
コスチュームが好き。
So actually, the Mr. Oshii really likes the Jill's costume from the Resident Evil 5.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What, just for us who don't know, what's that
It
costume
was
like?
basically like a.
So the-
It was a full blown.
Well, see,
You know what?
Oh, no, guys, no, yes.
boy,
Yes.
you know, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't say Biohazard 3 costume.
船の場所がいい。
That one's
That one, yeah, it's like basically a skirt and a shirt.
おしいさんが言ってるだけですから
That's
僕ら何も
Mr.
してないで
Oshi's
す
preference.
僕は高額メッセージがいい。
Google
So this, Mr. Shimizu definitely likes the bodysuit from the Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
For sure.
That was. Yeah.
The one that's basically not there.
Yes.
It's almost either. Yeah.
みんなここ違うんですよ。
So
Jill
everybody
has-
actually has a different
レオンが好き。レオンが好きして。
Mr. Kobayashi
ゲイじゃないよ
likes
じゃないよ。
Leon, but he's
Gay じゃないけど Leon.
not gay, but he loves Leon. And the director Sujimoto loves Jill.
I love Rebecca. I love Rebecca.
love it.
So much.
So much.
And Yuko too.
Next. Sorry, next.
Thank you.
Actually, this is a good one. You know, we got a snippet of Leon and Chris fighting in Resident Evil 6 for that little short time. So was it always the plan, like we need to get Leon and Chris together again in like a full-blown movie? Because I mean, that is kind of something that a lot of fans kind of got a snippet of in 6, and we was like, okay, when are they going to meet up again? We need this again.
そうレジデントイーブル6の映画の方でこうレオンとクリスのこの
違いますね。
ありますね。で、こういったところでファンが見てて、でいずれこの2人のやり取りっていうのが映画で見れるみたいなそういうところがあったんですけれども、今回そういうところで気にされて、作られたんでしょうか。
クリスとレオンそこは違
違うんだね。クリスとレオンになったのは
僕クリスそんな出したかった
So actually, so
制作チームとプロデューサーがぜひクリスを出したいっていうからその熱意に負けて了解したそうなんです
So production team was so passionate about using Chris, so that they begged Mr. Kobayashi for using Chris, and that's why he okayed it, using Chris. But it wasn't his plan.
Oh, wow.
別に僕クリス嫌いなわけじゃないんで
It's
す
not
け
that
ど
he doesn't like
結構
Chris.
活躍してるんですよクリスって
あ
だからゲームの5も出て6も出てベンデッタなんて連動してて
So the thing, Chris has been featured a lot. He's in the Resident Evil game 5, 6. Again, this Vendetta. So again, that was why that Chris wasn't his very first choice.
小林さんがレオン好きなのを知ってたんですけど、クリスは一度落ち込んでる場面っていうのを皆さん見てるから、
6ねゲームの6
僕は小林さんが好きなレオンも人間っぽいこう落ち込んでる女の人が守りたくなるような可愛らしい男の人の部分も出したいと思ってたんですよ。みんな思惑がそれぞれ違ったのがうまくバランス監督が取ってくれたって感じです。
So in the Resident Evil game 6, if you guys remember, Chris was kind of drunken, and he was not, he wasn't manning up, right? But in this movie, Mr. Shimizu wanted to show that aspect in Leon instead. So that way, it's kind of homage to the Resident Evil 6, and he also wanted to bring the dramatic aspect to it. So he's really appreciative that director Tsujimoto put all the factors together very nicely, very well.
クリスとレオンそれぞれなんだろう体つきも違うし戦い方が明らかにやっぱり演じてて違ってくるんですよ。その違いがお互いのないところを補えるような戦い方の表現ができるのでそれが楽しかった。
So one aspect that director Tsujimoto really liked was that Chris and Leon have a different body type, and how they fight is different too. So he wanted to show collaboration of those two different type of guys in this movie, so that was fun aspect too.
自然とバディムービー的に
なっ
なってきた。
てきましたね。
Yeah, that way naturally this movie became a kind of buddy movie between Chris and Leon.
これの時間が出る。
So given the timeline for the lore, seeing as this takes place right after 6, and how 7 took a completely drastic change for both gameplay and kind of the feel of it all, was there inspiration from 7 to help push this along? Because I think timeline, they probably go into production about the same time.
だから今回の映画のタイトルがですね、6の後ということで、ゲームのこの7と大体同時進行で作っていたかと思うんですけれども、7を作っている、このレジェンドイーブル7のゲームっていうのもかなり今までと違った感じのゲーム性になっていると思うんですけれども、この7から映画に対するインスピレーションを受けたりですとか、そういった同時進行している上で何か7と実写実写の関係性とかあったりでしょうか。
僕なんですけど、セブンの情報は一切2人には伝えて、ベンデッタチームは伝えてないので、シークレットだったので、特にセブンを意識せず、ベンデッタを作ってもらいました。
So Mr. Kobayashi never told anything about the Resident Evil 7 to them, Dr. Tsujimura and Mr. Shimizu. So they don't have any idea what the 7 would be. So there's no such influence from 7 to this CG movie version.
シークレット。
It was secret for so long.
クリスのことも知らないでかったですよって言って、セブンのクリスのことも知らなかったですよ。
セブンにクリスが出てくる。全然知らなかった。
So they of course didn't know that Chris will appear in the Resident Evil 7. They had no idea too.
顔が違うねって。クリスの顔が違うね。
His face is so different.
It's true.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you.
I play, hi, I'm Erin, what's your name? Hi Erin, it's nice to meet you. I'm Erin Cahill, I play Rebecca Chambers. I'm just gonna keep doing this every time. Who's that one?
Rebecca.
That's me.
I'm Dante Carver. I'm playing the character DC, which is also the first character in the series that's made specifically to look like the actor.
So when you see it, it's him.
It's actually, and my initials. That's subtle.
Do you guys want to go in sequence, or how do you want to?
I mean, I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
Sure. I guess basically both of you two. I know you're playing Rebecca, and all that stuff. So, were you at all familiar with Rebecca's character? I guess in the franchise, or was this kind of like your first time kind of diving into Resident Evil period?
That's a great question. So you guys, I haven't, because we did a day of press before, and I was like, okay, fans, don't be mad at me. I did not know who Rebecca Chambers was before I got the part. I got a quick education, and I have learned since doing it how much she's meant to fans over the years. So I have fallen even more in love with her post doing it, oddly, because of the fans, because I've fallen in love with the Resident Evil fans. I'm packing my purse, I'm sorry. So, yeah, no, I did not know, but I felt lucky in the time, but I'm so grateful I got to do Rebecca.
And for you, I mean, I know this is your full motion capture and stuff. So was that kind of like a big deal for you?
Yes and no. I've done motion capture for other projects before, including Metal Gear. That's why I was like, hey, nice shirt. But the style and the way it was taken was very different. So doing it this time with people I've been watching for a long time, and working with some directors and producers that I've either wanted to work with or worked with before, but just not together. It made it bigger, but it felt closer to me. And I've been a fan of the franchise anyway, so it made it better.
Follow up on that. You said it was different. Was there any challenges differently with this one?
Spatial awareness, definitely.
Okay.
Spatial awareness is very different. Also, working with the head rig was a bit different because when we filmed before, we actually didn't have anything on us. We just had a bunch of cameras everywhere recording different angles, and that was it. But this time we actually had that plus an actual head rig. So you had to be careful of what you were doing when you did action sequences and you're coming close to someone, because there's
We definitely bumped mics and cameras and stuff sometimes, because
All
you
the
would turn
time.
and just,
it's like, hey, oh
it's
yeah,
like
too
an extra
close.
foot in front of your face that you're not used to.
I got popped in the mouth once during one of the scenes. Have you guys seen it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't
Yeah,
want to
I've
spoil
seen- yeah, I've
anything.
seen
So
it.
there's a,
No, we definitely give spoiler alerts.
there's a scene where you have a couple on a park bench, and then the boyfriend starts freaking out, and then he jumps up and tackles her. Yeah, the second take of that, we're going to get up, and she got up a little too quickly and too close, and it popped me in the lip. I was like, oh, we're gonna feel that for a while. But the good thing is it's digital, so we don't have to worry about, oh, we need to ice it or do anything. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely an eye opener.
So you have to work through it.
Yeah, work through it and let me know how close I need to be and how far I need to be
Yeah.
when we're doing certain things. But it was fun. I like it.
Did you find any challenges?
You know, I was saying in the last interview that the whole experience for me was so otherworldly, because I'm a huge sci-fi zombie person, love see every Resident Evil movie, like just love that. So I was really stoked, but it was also we filmed in.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh!
Really? That's awesome.
That's great.
We're not upset. We're just like, that's
Oh,
awesome.
says the Power Ranger. I really like your ringtone.
Nice.
Yeah. No, don't be.
One of my best communicator.
No, sorry.
No, really, that's gonna go down. Like, remember when? Thank you. Yay. I know. I'm trying to figure out when I can like carve
Yeah,
my way
it
over to the
wasn't
ranger boots and be like, "Hi, family," because I'm here for this all day. Thanks. So yeah, no, it was for me. It was otherworldly because Dante lives in Tokyo and has for almost 12 years, so he's like a local. And so I had never been to Tokyo, so it was for me. It was like, you know, it really is like another world. And Dante was the best tour guide. We didn't have many days off, but when we did,
I tried to take her around to as many interesting places as possible. Of course, you go to the tourist spots, but then try and go to places that you don't usually get the chance to go to.
he knows where all the good Japanese whiskey is, so I'm a really big fan of that.
Yeah.
The
There's such a
Vampire
thing.
Bar.
Japanese
And where is
whiskey, I
it? They
didn't
make
even
their
know.
own whiskey, and it's
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's very
Not
good.
just sake.
Not just sake, no. There's a lot of amazing food and drink there.
Yeah.
Not just alcoholic, but just in general. A lot of the stuff that's there is actually really good, but you'd never know because most people go to what's in the tour guide. So,
yeah.
and it's safe zone food. So,
So I'm curious, obviously you living there was a huge advantage. Did you have, I don't want to say difficulty, but was it an adjustment with the direction? Because I'm guessing it was in Japanese and you at times had translator. Did you ever have, am I understanding what's being asked of me correctly, or did that come up?
You know, we got lucky. That's a great question. Dante speaks Japanese, so it was really good because sometimes, like even today, I was like, okay, so they all get translators. You're going to be my translator. But it happened on set too. Like we would constantly like go, and he'd be like, okay. You know. But no, the translators were really amazing, and also Tony from Sony
is really good.
He's fluent in both, so he would. If Taka would explain something and then we would have a moment, it was just everything. We were really covered because we had so many people that could speak both or that could translate
and some nuances don't translate.
Yeah.
So if there was a time I wasn't available to tell her and Tony was there, it just made it so much easier, so much smoother.
We had a good team. It was good communication despite the language barrier. And then eventually you just get to know Taka and know his ways.
Yeah.
And when he was really happy, when he would do,
Okay,
I don't know how.
Because this means okay in Japanese. When
And I didn't know that, so I thought the first time he did it, I went, mountain? So then it became our joke, and it's like, and when he was happy, he would go, mountain!
So our two poses were mountain and T pose.
You know, you do the T-pose before you start
So it
shooting.
resets. It's funny.
Of course.
And I never did.
What's that mean? What's a T-pose?
You stand
You stand like
Like
this.
so that they, right before you go, so they can like recalibrate the character to, so it's like a
motion capture.
recalibration. It's almost like a clicker, you know? For mocap, yeah. But I would always do,
Never T-posed.
but because I would spread my legs, so I would do like a
Star
starfish.
pose.
You'd be like,
It's too funny.
you gotta have fun. If you're not having fun doing it, it's like, well, why do we do it?
Very true.
We were talking a little earlier about, Robert Zemeckis has sort of like abandoned the idea of doing motion capture as a feature film about 10 years ago. And I was asking them, and they were like, the technology has come far since then. Does that mean for the actor, did you have to have a lot more dots, or like, has the technology made it easier for the actor as well, or is it actually harder because it's more intricate? I don't know.
Well, for me, my only two experiences were Call of Duty and then this.
Which is pretty
Which is awesome.
But how much time was there in between?
Gosh, how much time between Black Ops 2 and 3 years, maybe?
2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years. So it wasn't much.
Still
So they were
short.
similar, but still, even in that couple of years, the advancements.
Yeah,
Like
very.
when we were filming, they had a giant screen up behind us, and you could they would do playback.
So we could see,
And there was
kind of get an idea of what we look like.
And what worked and
even
didn't work?
Before it's rendered and before they edit. So even as a rough cut, it was still really
It was mind blowing because in Call of Duty you couldn't.
Couldn't see it.
You
You had to
shot
wait.
it and then they would animate over it. But in ours they had roughs of our characters. So like there's I don't know if it's on any behind the scenes footage, but there's
seen
footage of
any
us like dancing, and it's our characters up behind us, which
dancing.
to me. Yeah, we were just joking around. But
Pretty
to me,
trippy.
being able to see that immediately was great.
It was pretty cool. And actually, she made a good point where filming for the video game and filming for this were similar but very different, because even with Metal Gear, it was one room, cameras everywhere, but it's a bunch of dots. But in this case, of course, you have your motion capture suit, but the head rig actually records all of your facial expressions real time. So it made it easier for them to do it. Easier for us, it's less to take off and worry about. But it hadn't been done before, so doing that this time made it very interesting and made me very curious to see what would happen if I made certain faces. Because the director would say something, it's like, wants me to be serious, and I'd make some stupid face just to see what it looked like, because our faces look like they're being stretched on the screen, on the side. It just looks weird. If it's on the special features, all this will make sense when you see it.
We don't know what ended up on the special features.
So just quickly, was it one face you had that didn't work, that didn't translate?
No, actually, I think, unfortunately, everything that I did, he liked, and he said he will eventually use to my like or dislike. So, I don't know. I'll have to see, because I actually haven't finished looking at any of the special features yet, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
me neither.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it, specifically because it gets released today.
Yeah,
So I'm happy.
I know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you worry that this type of CG and this type will be the future, and that your likeness is gonna be famous and not you, and that this is the way the future is going with actors? Because there's a science fi movie out there, it came out many years ago, where they make a copy of you, and they're using that copy to CG other movies, and that particular actor never got royalties or got paid because they signed a disclosure saying you can use my likeness in Resident Evil, but then they use that likeness and they switch it around and you use it for Resident Evil 9 and 10 and 11 and 15 and 60, and you never get paid and you're done. You're a one-time stunt person.
Not to
First of all, that's like a nightmare. Like, I'm pretty sure I have that nightmare.
That's a nightmare,
Well, that's the future.
that's deep.
I feel like I trust these guys. Like
Yeah.
they wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Plus we have like agents and things that
Yeah.
have
Yeah, but
protected us in the.
But what I'm saying is, because
pretty
it could be the future.
Oh, this kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Do you ever think of that? Because now your likeness is always that person at age 25.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
I understand, with the royalties and stuff, but this could be the future. We
It
all
could be a
a
feature.
hologram.
In some
Yeah.
cases, it is an advantage. Say you're filming something and someone gets injured, but you need to continue. You can actually use that data from before. This is speaking where nothing bad happens with your information. Someone gets sick, injured, whatever, you can actually continue production, because a lot of times if something happens on set and your main
shut down production.
gets hurt, then now what? The entire thing stops. So instead of doing it, it does give you the advantage of continuing, being able to work and move forward. So I don't have that Oh, I didn't have that fear. So Yikes.
Yeah.
You know, the question has been for a long time that basically actors could become obsolete because you have all that digital footage.
Yeah. But
And you
do-
can
Well,
manipulate it
there's
as
a
you
block
want.
right now on it.
And now I have like
anyway,
a stream of
that you
movies
can't
going through my head like Tron and
But they're going to flash
It could have been Tron. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think conversely, because I just saw the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Not to make it not about Resident Evil, but you guys, it's amazing. Go see it. It's emergency. And I looked
I
up
wanna see it,
CG. Oh my gosh, it's CG. And I looked up the cast, and the one that stuck out to me most was I think it's Judy Greer. I think that's her name. Plays the baby of Caesar. Anyway, she plays like a baby ape, and she's a very well-known, prolific actress. And I just thought, how cool! Like, and then one of the male orangutans, who's like one of the best characters, is a woman, like I think she's a British woman in her 50s. I just think it's a cool opportunity because
it gives you more range.
yeah. So I think hopefully we'll still stick around. But
Fingers crossed.
but in the meantime, like how cool to get other
That's a really
opportunities.
good point. With the range, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because then age suddenly doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you get to do.
Yeah.
We get to play a giant orangutan.
Or digital Power Ranger. Just saying.
Actually, how close were y'all with like some of the other voice actors? Were y'all kind of like in the same space, or was it kind of recording separately? Because I know ADR for a lot of different movies and shows is kind of different. Sometimes they're in separate rooms, other times they're not. So I mean, were y'all kind of all together?
We did the mocap.
Yeah.
And then I voiced Rebecca, and then DC was in Tokyo, so someone else voiced. Like it's different. So we all did the mocap together, and then when I voiced Rebecca, I didn't see another actor.
I know Jason
Because
Font
it was
was in
just-
it, voicing. And I was like,
He didn't do the. Oh, he did the voice of a different character.
he did a different character. That's why I was trying to ask you, did you actually see him, or were y'all just kind of like all?
We were all worked together on mocap, but then when it comes to voicing,
Separate, because at that time I was actually filming a different movie, and my previous agent called, and it's like, hey, we need to come in and do voiceover. It's like, that's not gonna happen. There's no studio room.
Yeah.
And literally went 3 hours out of the way to a really small sound studio to record, sent it, and she didn't send it in time. So they actually had to get someone else to voice my character. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
I've had that happen before.
Yeah, but
where
I mean, it's a life lesson, no big deal.
I had it happen on The Mentalist, but it was just one scene. They had someone come in and do my voice in one scene, but it's me. It's live action. Anyway, don't get it. And I was like,
Was it close enough though?
That's not my voice.
Is it close enough?
Everybody
So I guess that would be similar to
everybody
your
didn't notice because of my family.
Someone else's voice was used for you.
For me,
I
for
watch
like
too much sci-fi.
like a major
Oh,
TV show.
that's cool.
That's crazy. I like it though. I
Are
like
you
that part of your
called
brain.
Dark Matter?
No, I don't think it was Dark.
Sorry, because that actually happens in Dark
It was
Yeah.
it was a movie about a young actress, and that did her whole thing.
Is it-
And then as she got older, she didn't have the contract, it ran out.
It sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Yes, it does sound like a Black Mirror episode. Yeah.
It might have been.
It's that old movie with Susan Day, right? Oh, sorry. That's good. I think I remember.
But yeah, I feel very fortunate that we got to do the mocap
Yes.
together
That was
because
fun.
us and Jason and John Demita, and we were like a little family.
I think it was Tucker who was saying he's not interested in men in these movies at all.
that was
He
it.
only-
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
only interested in women. So there's a whole new opportunity here in this genre, obviously, with leading women, where Hollywood might not be so forthcoming with leading roles for women. Obviously, there's a whole lot country and genre for women.
I know, I love it. I think there's such a
you
golden time
felt
right
like,
I feel like there's so many more cool, I mean, we're in the time of Wonder Woman where
Yes.
there's a very cool thing happening. I know, right? One of the best movies
Yeah.
Huge fan.
ever. Oh God, I was like screaming when I left that movie. I was like, I can fly. But yeah, so I think it's a very cool time for women in film and TV and everything.
Yeah. But also because, I have a 13-year-old daughter and she's very much into Overwatch and stuff like that. So I think the whole consumerism has changed as well.
Yes.
And, girls are very much into video games and
Yes.
that means they need to change because they want different kind of characters and avatars.
That and not
so I
always
think,
being background characters,
Yeah.
actually bringing them forward, because stories and character designs tend to be more interesting now. At least they are for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
From the gaming standpoint and in film. So I actually like having more variety and not just the same tropes all the time. It gets old.
Space Marine 1, Space Marine 2.
And I like that she's wearing, like something you can battle in.
Right?
Yeah,
She's
not
tough
the
and she's
t-shirt.
not. Yeah.
Are you wearing heels?
No, it's a Resident Evil 1 attire.
I mean,
It's a
there's
Resident Evil 1
scene-
attire, but there is
yes,
a
there is
scene
one.
where
She's in the wedding
dress.
But he's dressed her up in that. But yeah, no, she's
With heels.
with heels. No. She's she's in boots. She's in boots.
Fighting.
It's a good one. I know me and him, we were like fans of like the Final Fantasy Spirit Within stuff, and that was like the early days.
Oh, wow.
Early
That's
days of
taking it
CGs.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
early days. So have you seen kind of like it? Just seen that the more the
Progression.
evolution of that, like to where because like right now seeing that, I don't think you could make that back then in the
No,
early 2000s.
the technology didn't exist, fortunately. And the reason I say fortunately because it means it gave them a chance to break what they had, learn new things, progress, get better, and then obviously give us the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
I like that we had that process because it gave us different avenues to learn new things and to create different projects and entities throughout media. So I like the fact that we have this now. I'm actually looking forward to doing a series or a follow-up to it with Aaron.
I know, right?
And we need to get Jason here too.
Yes.
I have,
Last
I have one. Who is your favorite Resident Evil character?
I can't pick one, but I would have to say for this, definitely her character. It's more interesting for me. Like I said, following the same tropes and playing the games is kind of the same direction, the same thing. I like her character in it because it felt deeper, richer, and working with her, I have a different perspective on it.
You got to
altogether.
explore the character.
Oh, thanks. I know, right?
My second favorite is DC.
Hopefully they put you in the game. That would be interesting if they do.
That
kind
would
of-
be interesting, and my character doesn't die.
We said that in the last interview. We were like, we both
both
spoiler,
survived.
we both survived.
Resident Evil 7 DLC.
I had a hunch since you're both
We've
here.
had several conversations about that, and it's like, are you okay if the character dies? It's like, no. It's like, well, why not? And then I explained the history of no, and he's like, oh, okay.
That makes sense.
You're the second black character to survive in Resident
Oh,
Evil.
Resident Evil 5, there was a character, Josh, we were like, is he gonna die? Like,
We were both doing
No, but
co-op.
then he came up, then like at the end of the game, he came up, was like, okay, thank God.
No. Yeah.
He flew the chopper.
It's a trailblazing game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's actually in storage at my parents' house because I don't want to mess it up. But